Crunching looks pretty loud. Probably shouldn't eat this again today, so. Alright, let's pull up Twitch so I can read the Twitch chat. Wish I could pop the chat out faster. Boom. Sweet. Put that there, move that over there. All right, we're live. I think you should be able to hear me and see an unpatched synthesizer. I've done nothing since we last left other than turn it on. But I think, oh yeah, I plugged the MIDI cable in so I can do pitch stuff if I want to, but let's just see. We got sound, I think. You should be able to hear vague fart sounds. Let me get the phone handy so I don't have to look over there to read. Let's see. Twitch. So while I'm doing this, one of my plans is actually to go through at least one or two voices. So Bartok, let's mute other me. That's like back in time me. And turn off my phone's auto lock. Good, never. So now I should be able to read the chat. Sweet, cool. Well, where I want to put that is exactly, maybe this camera can hold it up. Yeah, sweet. That's great. Now I can look at the chat and it almost looks like I'm looking at the camera. Okay, so first voice I want to play with is actually the pizza voice. Well, I'll let you decide, pizza voice or Legion voice. Either one looks pretty fun. I'm gonna need some Bartok cables of different sizes. I'm not gonna super optimize this because that's kind of boring to watch, but what do we got? Pineapple pizza, let's do it. All right, so I need a tiny cable, which is over there. So we'll just have to replace these with tiny cables later. I'm gonna take the main out into the filter of crows out into the God Eater. God Eater is gonna go, it's a little bit backwards order in terms of how they are next to each other, but it made sense to me when I designed it this way. The out, if God Eater is going to the Javelin. I just like the Javelin being handy, and all these cables will be routed, so they're sort of out of the way. And then I think from there we have an output from the Javelin that goes to voice. We'll say that's bass. So I've labeled all of my inputs on my mixer, and most of them make sense, like lead, bass, drum, Cosmo. But I labeled one MIA, and I don't know what that means, or what it was for. So yeah, maybe you do. We'll see. All right, now we need to take pitch data from, I think, number 2. Let's see, this was number 2, right? Yep. 2 and B. I need a little bit longer Bartok cables. Yeah, this'll do. I should really just call them what they are instead of Bartok cables. I should call them the best cables money can buy. I think is the name. Still too short. Just grab another handful. There's going to be some. There we go. Well, we'll just go with way too long. It's always easier for initial setup. Okay, I want volt per octave, and then I need the gate. 2, and gate is going in for here. Okay, so now if we hit a button, we're hearing nothing. Why? If I hit loop, does it make sound? Nope. Okay, so okay, so that's working theoretically. No, it was working. I couldn't tell you what was causing the video game sounds, but something is. I suspect it's because I don't have a frequency going into envelope going in yet. Let's fix that. Grab the, I need a couple of smallish cables. So I like to take the envelope out of the Javelin, go into numero uno of the Sync de Ferro, which is a buffered multi. Doesn't need to be buffered, but it is. It's just basically 4 attenuators that cascade, and it's a great way to split up something like an envelope because not all module inputs have an attenuator, so this allows you to attenuate it before it gets there. In this case, I don't really need to because I don't have a need for an attenuator there, but that should be better. Alright, it's hard to play when I'm like reaching over there. Anyway, that sounds roughly okay, but let's like break it down a little bit. I want to hear things more in isolation, so let's take the audio straight out of, let's remove the God Eater from the mix for a minute, because that one is a little rowdy, a little bit, it's like the rowdy. See, this is the sound that we're starting with just a second ago. That's what was going into the God Eater. Can y'all hear that, by the way? I assume you can. Yeah, it looks like you can, based on the visuals. It's kind of amazing what effectively like 4 modules can sound like. That's just the pizza and the filter of crows with the stability off, stability on. The filter of crows is really an interesting one. When you turn off stability and you turn the resonance down beyond a certain point, it almost acts like a choke. You sort of hear that like... Anyway, this is the fun little... don't know. I don't think you can see the oscilloscope, which is kind of a bummer because that's the camera I'm using for my face, but it looks cool. Make that one more time. And raise that so I can see better. I just learned this shirt is not good with this box because of all the unsanded plywood. It just attaches itself to it. So I'm just going to go back to getting splinters like I should. And Pizza is such a good module, and I think it might be delivering a pretty sick bass line here soon. Man, I need to like sand down the edges of one of these modules, I think, just to make them slightly smaller. I actually have a tool that might work really well for that, so I'll test that on an old faceplate. I mean, I just need like a 1/2 millimeter. So I'm just listening through a few different sound styles. Angry synth, because I want to see what plays nicely with this distortion, so I'm looking for stuff or listening for stuff that I think will work well. But first I wanted to see exactly how Filter of Crows sort of handles the information. So now let's try going through some of those same sounds again, but with God Box, or God Eater back and play God Box. And that, I don't have my bass headphones on, but I suspect this is pretty close to the bass I'm looking for. Like with some side chaining, like all right, so I think that voice is about where I want it. I don't know. I'll take any notes you have, though. Yeah, that just makes me nervous. Yeah, I think I'm going to file down one of these. Which one, though? Maybe sync. Okay. Next voice, let's do the stereo one. I'm actually pretty excited about this. So let's grab, I'm gonna need 2 longer cables at least. And there are pro tips to organizing cables. And I'm not gonna use any of those tips. Yeah, that should be, is that enough? Let's see, let's go into, I don't know, this one. See how that goes. So we're just going to take a voice in just to make sure we've got audio. And I'm hearing nothing. Because that is, I mean, that should be making lots of sound. One of them is. One of them is not. It's just really low. Okay, let me, before we get into the sound, let's add some pitch data. So we need a pitch from number 3, or C, into Quant Gemini, which I'm using as a mult, buffered mult, so that I don't have droop or anything. Probably fine with this few. This there's not that many modules, it's just 2. I don't know how y'all do this without like stuff getting in the way all the time. All right. Wow. All right, let's go to different voice. 7. Do that. Cool. And then theoretically, if I plug this in, we should hear something. Nothing. I mean, we hear something, but it's not what we want to hear. Like, I would expect to hear this. Nothing. Okay, also nothing. So maybe they're both doing what they're supposed to. Huh. What is going on, my friends? Okay, we're going to do this the old-fashioned debuggy way. Grab some pitch information from a mass. Okay, just, let's see, let's just take 1, 2, this, and cycle. And nothing. Both going to volt per octave. Wonder if it's the PWM. I'm hearing something, but that's not really. This is not promising. Mute. Oh. Ho ho. Okay, one of them at least worked. So let's do. But this one's not, and I don't know why. Sometimes the linear FM gets a little buggy on this one. I just need to turn it off and on, I think. Problem solved. Couldn't tell you why. Okay, what was I doing? Right, pitch. Let's put the pitch back to where it was supposed to be. Thanks, Mass. You're a gem. Now, if I hit this, turn the volume up. Sweet. All right, now let's get those going into something a little closer. We want left out and right out, and then we will go ahead and pan those left and right. What did I do wrong? 3. One of you is, oh, I see. I know nothing. All right, so now we've got 2 outputs from Ikery. Cool. Still kind of in the way, but whatever. Next, we need to, this is where if I had the really short ones handy. Oh, I do, sweet. We're gonna go, oh, it might be too short. That'll be right in. And come on, friend. Yeah, that'll work good enough. Left in. And we're gonna go with the swarms, but doesn't really matter. And then I need envelope information. Again, too short, but we'll make this work. Gate. Take the envelope out. Is that long enough? Doop. I mean, that can work, but I think I'd rather just do it with the slightly longer one. Okay, and now we need these two to split the envelope 3 different ways. One is the VCA built into Ikery. One is volt per octave. So VCA we went all the way up. Volt per octave we might attenuate a little bit. And then the other 2 I think I'm going to send to the pulse width modulation on both of these things. That's 2. Or it's not really pulse width, they call it something else. What is it? Pulse width / detune. So we'll do that. And we'll keep those all the way off for a second, just to keep things simple. Okay. So that's working there. That's working there. And I just had the volume down. Ooh. One of you is not like the other. Whew. Messes in my head a little bit. Is that good? I don't know. I don't know. Is that good? You tell me. I feel like this one's a little unstable. Oh, it might just be differences in the detuning. Yeah, okay, that's all it is. Which for this case, you don't really want them that similar. Cool. I think that's pretty much voice 2 for a minute. I think that could be cool through reverb. We could test that. I do have a reverb really handy right here. So let's go in left and right here. And then bring those over here. The longest tiny cables. Left and right. Is there a tiny cable somewhere? Ooh, I'm hearing some feedback somewhere. I don't know what that is. It could be me, it could be something in the system. Sweet. Yeah, seriously. I'm going to make these slightly shorter so I have a chance of at least using this module. All right. There we go. All right, now I should be able to hear still. But this might be full wet. Hear that phaser? That's pretty cool. I think that's the mod here. On iCurry, if I turn that off. No, it's still there. Probably just the Swarm detune. Or it could be the Yester Versio picking that up. Yeah, I kind of like that sound. I don't know. That could be a good, I think that could be a pretty good flexible voice. And then if I need it to be mono, I can just do nothing and just leave it in stereo. All right, and then the last voice is like the usual voice. I don't know, that we could do that too if you want. Yeah. And Yesterversio is a clocked reverb, so I think that could be pretty fun with this kind of stuff. I have Basil coming as well, also a clocked reverb delay. Or sorry, Yesterversio, I misspoke, it's not a reverb, it is a reverb-like delay. It's got a bit of both depending on how you do it, but both are awesome. We'll see how they sound. All right, next. So we've got two voices in, now we need the primary voice, and this is a tricky one, I think, because I want the saw wave to go into straight into the MA35, because really the whole reason I have an MA35 is so on the road I can mimic my Korg MS-10 on the shelf there, which leaves another, my other wave choices coming out of here are square wave and triangle. So I'll do the square wave into the input on the filter, and the way I have the Trash Master set up, or the way I prefer to use the sound to make it as electro trashy as possible is to go input into the filter and then output from the drive. So it goes to the filter first and to the drive. You can do it the other way around or do a combination of both or whatever. We can play with that a little bit if you're curious. All right, next cable, let's take the output from this and go into, how did I want to do this? I believe the output from this goes straight to, I remember what I wanted to do. Okay, whatever. The output of this into A, and then the output of the MA35 into the B input of select. This way I can just flip a little switch down here to change everything. Pretty cool. Looking good. Get a couple more cables. All right. Then we want the output of select to go into the input of waiver, which isn't in like an ideal spot really for this because of its shape, but I put it there anyway. Because you know, you don't have to, not everything has to be ideal every time. The question is, which one did I put it? See, I remember how to use this thing. Because the inputs on waiver are actually a little different each, so it depends. The sound depends on what you do. There. So then I take the sound out of waiver and go into the javelin, and then javelin can go via long cable all the way over to the mixer. I'm just going to reach out. Let's go to the voice. We don't have any pitch information or gate yet, so let's get that going. I need to get some longer cables again. Let's do pitch first. That's the longest, and then actually don't need a very long one for javelin, it turns out. I think that probably will reach a teeny tiny cable. This is actually less bad than I thought it would be with all the screws out. Well, not all. Okay, mean, we're getting sound and pitch. It's not the sound I was imagining, so let's just play a couple. That's working. Okay, I need to adjust this voice so that I need to mirror these things a little bit. So that one should be like, where are you, javelin, fast attack, pretty decent decay, pretty good sustain, and pretty good release. And conversely, this one should be something along the lines of this. Oh, I see what's going on. And we're just getting like a smooth voice. Yeah, we're just getting a smooth voice because there's no envelope hitting the filter. So when you hear that, the trash master just sounds, I mean, fine. But once you get some knob moving, that's where all the magic is. So let's get a bunch more shorter cables. Not too picky because all these are going to get swapped out after I bolt it in, which won't happen right away. Let's take the envelope out. Wait, where's the shortest one? Probably this guy. Envelope out over to this one. And this I could have used just a straight mult because thankfully all of the inputs have all the CV inputs have attenuators. I should have really paid more attention to what the attenuation was set up, but that's part of the fun, right? And let's go ahead and hit the pulse width modulation over on the oscillator so that to see how that impacts the sound. And then I have one more to go into the trash master. Trash master, frequency CV, yep. And is that it for these? Yeah, let's just do that for now. So that's the sound we're missing, right? With no envelope. With envelope. And then if I flip it over to the MA35, we should hear that filter. And with this filter, you really got to get the input levels right. So it's got sort of this, it's got a drive built-in sort of amplifier circuit, which is pretty good. And then the line input, the louder you get it, the less the resonance gets rowdy. Right now you can hear the resonance is like pretty strong. That's dialed. Anyway, yeah, this is pretty much how my MS-10 sounds, almost exactly. So that works. I made a little mono synth up there, single oscillator. I would love to have a sub oscillator handy for this part because it is nice to mix in with the waver. But I'm going to see what let's see what a sine wave will do. I think it's going to be it's the CAM, what, 344 or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the chip because it's been a minute. But I just think it's going to be too mellow. So if I hold it. Yeah, we almost need an amplifier for that. Triangle wave, do I have an amplifier somewhere? I could turn down the other one too. I mean, that's always an option too. Well, let's try a different input. Maybe the different inputs have different stuff going on. So let's try that. You never know with bass. I mean, it does add a little bit low end, so I could just leave that on. That's really rowdy. Yeah, okay, I mean, that works for now. But I do want to try an amplifier, so let's see. One of these things can make things louder, right? Muscles definitely have some makeup gain, but I'm going to use those for other things. Let's see, drum stuff. Could put it in the mixer. This mixer doesn't have great gain in my opinion. And it's also far away. So I think this is what the voice is going to be for now. But one of the things that's nice to do with this voice, because it's more vocal than it sounds right now, I think it's a vocal, human sounding voice for whatever reason. I like to take an out from the oct and go into the frequency modulation input on the oscillator, which has its own attenuator. It should. It looks like it's going crazy, so maybe the attenuator's not doing enough. Try. Oh, I know what I did. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want the frequency modulation input. I wanted the CV input actually. Because then I can go. I love that sound. Just a little bit. And the higher you go, the better it sounds. Add a little bit of reverb or something. Like if we take that output and put that through on an effect instead, it's really nice. Maybe we should do that real quick. So let's go U into this. And then this can go away for a second. And then we should still be able to hear it. Not sure about the levels. Let's turn the time way down. I think I'm somewhat happy with these voices. I'm not sure the waver's doing anything other than it being a wave folder, so I can take a voice like this. Here, let's get rid of the effect real quick. I mean, I guess I could have just gone dry. If I get rid of the effect and I crank the wave folder, it gets kind of rowdy. So let's play with that maybe. Let's do a little bit of stuff I haven't done much of yet. Play with, because we have an extra envelope out, right? So let's use it, see what it sounds like. If I take that envelope out, turn that all the way up and drop it into maybe the shape. All right, this is like soft pop-ish stuff. What's going on is I'm basically just pinging the filter using a really low oscillator frequency. And so you can see if I like modulated the filter, which we could do just by snagging another cable. That's really long. From Oct, man, let's do a like, I don't know, one like this and see how that sounds. Kind of adorable, but that's not the point of this. I was just curious. Actually, I wonder if that sounds good with back in the reverb. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not sorry. That was fun. All right. What else we got? Like, let's see what other things we can do with the shape with. Whoa. And what else? We could do, let's just, got this here. Let's see what happens when I throw another LFO into the ACB. I see. Oh, I see. Let's make that slower. Whoa. Sounds like bit crushing. What does it sound like when I do mix? But yeah, mix doesn't impact the shape. That's not as fun. So. What happens if this goes into the break CV? Whoa, that is pretty tricky. Oh, interesting. The ACV is normal to the CCV, so they're both. They alternating? They are alternating. That is interesting. So if I crank that. Hope y'all like wavefolding, because waver is pretty cool. And then I have no idea how to get back to normal without pulling out patch cables, so that might be a live patch thing, which is pretty dope because I have a nice little passive, tidy, durable mult passive that should do just fine for this purpose. What else? I gotta stop leaning on this thing. I don't think I wanted to mess too much with other things here. I'm pretty actually really happy with the top voice. It's better than I thought it would be. The bottom voice is what I expected, and the middle voice is a big question mark as far as how it's gonna work with my stuff. Yeah, I just don't know how that fits in. But in the meantime, let's play with the FX boy. So let's turn the volume way down first because we're gonna pretty good sound. All right, I think I have too much distortion going on, but it does sound good. I actually wanted to check out the reverb, but that's over there, so I gotta take the headphones off for a sec. Go get some Game Boy cartridges. See, we want FX Girl, because I'm pretty sure that's a really good one. No. Flanger's always fun. Wavefolder, we can wavefold the wavefold, why not? And a phaser. That's a pretty good stack. You're missing the fun, Bartok, but I understand. Pokemon Red. You joke, but I was debating swapping the cartridge cases because it's like pretty trivial to do. Goodbye, trash. Hello. We got microphaser. We'll just do this in no particular order. Too much harmonic data for that one. Wave folder is probably just going to make it sound worse. Oh, that last, like, the tail of this one, this is good. And yeah, swapping the cases would be dangerous if I forget. It's a literal tasty sound. It sounds like someone like looking at it. I do recommend this Making Sound Machines wave folder. It's super cool. Flanger. This one's like begging for some modulation here. Please modulate me. I want to move a little bit. All right. Let's see. Let's go X from you. That's pretty cool. Probably need to, let's see, can I attenuate X? Oh yeah, XCV, here we go. Let's get another one. This oct is just absolutely the best. And you know, if you've got attenuation on these, anyway, that's that one. That's the flanger. Now FX Girl, which I believe is like a reverb slash, I think you can do some car plussy things with it. It's like mad at me. Are you mad at me? Oh, let's pull these out real quick. Are you dead? Did you die? Oh, I know what I did. I pulled the input out instead of the YCV. So now I have to figure out which one of these was a sound. Let's see. It was coming from this direction generally. Where's this guy? Here we go. Pretty nice. I don't know if I like the EQ or not. I almost wish this module didn't have EQ and instead had like more settings, but for folks who like EQ, it's nice. And then if I go to the other mode, likes E, it doesn't like anything else. Yeah, that's a nice one too. So now I need to figure out what to do with the FX Boy, because I had dreams of being really performative with this thing, where you can whip out a Game Boy cartridge and slam it in here, but it's actually really fiddly to get the cartridge situated, because it's not like a Game Boy where you've got a sleeve that guides the thing in really easily. It's just a PCB front panel that's open behind it pretty much. There is a little bit of a guide rail further in, but you can see like I can break it if I go like too fast. You can go in like kind of sideways. So that's my concern there as far as doing things quickly with it. But I don't really know what voice to put it on, because I feel like I almost have too much going up here with the waver. Maybe should I replace the waver with the FX Boy is a good question. I think it's the waver looks like it's I want to say that's 8, yeah, that's 8 HP, and the Bafaco FX Boy is 10. So if I swap that for the waver slash this passive mult, maybe that would be a good fit, because I have I could switch it up. It does have a nice wave folder, and I don't know, the waver is kind of out of place with where the controls are, as far as, you know, when the jacks are all populated with a bunch of this stuff, the controls are sort of in the center, like there's jacks here on Time Warp, which will be populated, so getting the hand like in where it needs to be for that one is trickier. Oh, you can't see it at all. Time to move my face. Yeah, you can just go up where, and everything's upside down. Let's fix that. To fix that by telling GoPro that it's the other way around. There we go. And now, gosh, I wish I had noticed that earlier. You can see a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. All right, I think I'm gonna call it, go make some food. I'm sort of slowing down. What happens if I take this and put it in here? I don't think I've ever put CV in there. Pretty much what I expect, okay? I guess I don't need to move different ones. I just boop, boop. Yeah, I like those visualizers. They're entirely aesthetic, and they surround Lucifer. Thinking of what other things I should try. I'm thinking maybe waver. Well, let's see. Throw the wave folder back in here, and I'll see which one I like better. We're already plugged in, so all we need to do is take this. Still got audio, and we are going through both of these, so we just want to do one. So we'll take the audio. Let's remove some of these long cables that are just doing nothing. Ooh, I don't like it when cables try to go inside the case. Okay, so should I use switch for this? Yeah, why not? But then I need my dummy cable here. Okay, now that should no longer switch when I do this. Sweet. Okay, so we're going to take the output of the oscillators go into A. Wait, they go into the end. Oh, that's a short cable. So why don't we take A2 back to see where it was pretty much. Grab a short cable from, perfect, this one might be just the right length for in from down here. Select is pretty cool, actually. Then I need a long cable to go from B all the way to the input of this. This can go into one. This is the stuff that makes my brain hurt sometimes, but I think we got this squared away. And the out goes into, well, did I do that right? Okay, that just splits the signal of the filters. But what I could do instead, yeah, this is wrong. Okay, I see what I need to do instead. What I need to do instead is actually take the output of FX Boy and the output of Waver, and that's too short. That's okay, we'll fix that in a second. Sure, this cable will be just fine. Waver, output, B, A, and then we will split the signal of this one. Unused cable somewhere, yeah. Pull it all apart. Split the signal of the oscillators, basically, and the filters by plopping that into, we'll just use a passive mult for now, and then send those to both FX Boy and where are you? You're not plugged in anything? Okay. Wow, okay. Let's use the really long cable because maybe it'll help hold this tiny module in place. And then into Waver right next to it. Not Waver. Yeah, Waver. Why does Waver have a C in? Is that plugged in anything? No. Okay. All right, I think now we're cooking. And then the output to here. We have nothing. Okay, so what did I do wrong? Oh, I don't have the main output, because that should go into, from there into that. Okay, so I need a short cable. Out, in, and now we're... Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's pull some of the extra bonus inputs I did here just to like give FX Boy a fair chance. Because right now, Waver sounds way better. Like, not even close. So... All right, I think the Waver is still winning for me, especially since even though it's subtle, if I put the sub oscillator in there, it does make a difference, particularly with the right. Yeah, all right, yeah, I think I like the wave folder on the Waver better, which means the FX Boy is free for another job. What job should it have? I don't know yet. So, yeah, something to chew on. Thanks for watching. Sorry there wasn't any actual music. I mean, maybe I have some queued up. Let's see. What do we got? Let's try, yeah. I'm gonna have to change all my sequence pitches, but that's okay. This is actually really annoying. So I have a pan, well not a pan, a wet sort of dry knob. Right? This is dry. And this is wet. But the curve on the knob is such that when it's crossfading, it gets really quiet in the middle, so you can just hear it. I'll just do a slow pan. Why? Why did they think that was cool? Like, that's not a good choice. Like, it like cuts out when you rotate it. Like ducking almost. There's nothing you can do about it other than taking the wet out and the dry out separately and then mixing them in a separate spot, which is what I'll do eventually, but I don't have the modules for that now, so for now, like on the bass note. Pretty good sound. Anyway, I've got some tuning to do on all of this, like in terms of tweaking the patches, not actual pitch tuning, because you can see that one actually has a tuner on it already, so we're good there. It's pretty stable until you get to the really high pitches. It's a little tweaky, but that's okay. I mean, look how good that is all the way down. That's pretty dang good. I don't know many oscillators that let you go, I mean, outside of digital oscillators that let you go down and up you know, a total of 5 different octaves and still remain relatively, well, fully stable. If I fine tune this to where it stops jumping a little bit, yeah, it's going to be perfect on all of them. That's pretty cool. Yeah, anyway, also this oscillator is rad in that if I crank this all the way, it's exactly a 5th up. And if I go right in the middle, pretty nice. Really quickly get 2 things. I don't do that as much when it's a solo oscillator though. I don't know. Still toying with this. I'm not committing to bolts yet. Have a good evening.